All right. So we're going to take about 15, 20 minutes and talk to these guys. And once again, I started doing this just so people could find out who comics are when they're not being comics, really. And so the same basic questions. I'll start with Paul over here. Basically, how did you grow up? What was your family dynamic? Mom, dad, what did they do? Brothers, sisters, that sort of thing. Where, how'd you grow up? Oh, is this on? Hello? Hello? Yeah, there we go.
I grew up in a tough neighborhood called Oak Brook, Illinois. It's a really pussy area.
Cul-de-sac?
Cul-de-sac. We had a pool. It was really tough.
Above ground?
Yeah. What's that?
Above ground?
No, it was in ground, heated.
Fuck you.
It's tough.
Can't wait to hear about your pool.
Above ground, everybody, above ground. A lot of Coke parties, a lot of Coke parties.
We had Coke parties too when I was 12. Better Coke.
Me too.
I thought yours would be meth, but that's, no.
What did your
Florida. No.
What'd your dad do?
My dad was a doctor, of course, and my brother's a doctor, and they live here. My brother's a doctor here. Some of you guys know him, I guess. I talked about him. I had a good lot. I mean, I was a disappointment. I was in a lot of trouble a lot of times because my brother was a lot smarter than me, and so I was did the opposite. I was doing sports and tried to get attention from my parents who were supposed to come to the show. They didn't come to these two seats. So that's what I did. Yeah, feel sorry for me and buy our shirts.
Did your mother work or just
My
start
mom was a teacher, and then she stopped after we were born. She became a homemaker.
And were your parents born in Iran?
They were born in Iran. My brother was actually born there too. I'd never been there, so I was born in Philadelphia. And
Similar.
Yeah, so, I'm sure. I was born here. I'm a citizen, so you guys that got mad when I was talking about that stuff before, chill the fuck out. It's April's husband you need to worry about.
Yeah, it's very scary.
He knows him.
Scary.
So same thing. Now you're growing up.
My dad is not a doctor, but he does take penicillin for fish when he has a cold. So that is. My dad buys all of his medicine at Petco and claims it's the same thing. So that's true. It's called
Penicillin's penicillin, isn't it?
He's like, April, penicillin's penicillin. It's just the same thing. Penicillin, fish penicillin. That's the same fucking thing, right? I'm like, no, there's a guppy on that fucking bottle right there. That's a guppy. That's not even a pill.
Does he take it orally?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called fish mox. You can get it too if you want.
Shit, I can't wait.
Google it.
People are writing it down right now. They're like,
yeah, there's a lot of people who don't have good health care in this room.
No, you got to take fish penicillin
Yes,
when
you do.
don't have much money. You got to take fish. He'd be like, if you have the sniffles, he just pulls out that fish penicillin and tries to pass it off.
And your mom's here.
Yeah, she's in the back. She's in the back.
We sang happy birthday to her last night.
Yeah, it was her birthday yesterday, so
And
buy her shirts or
if
she
I remember
gets no
correctly,
presents.
because you've been here, you talked about your parents. Your parents were in college, I think, when you were born or something.
Yeah,
Like they were getting their degrees.
I think my dad they were 18 when they got married. They were making some solid life choices.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I got, yeah.
Hey, I'm
My mom
from
had
Chattanooga,
me.
Tennessee. That's pretty common.
My mom had, Mom, did you have me because you thought you were pregnant? She's gonna get mad at me.
she just took a shot.
Yeah, she's drinking back there. No, my mom thought she was pregnant, and then she was like, April, we didn't have money to go to the doctor. We were both working on a dairy farm. It turns out I was just drinking a lot of milkshakes, and I got fat. So my mom married my dad because she got fat.
And then had you.
Yeah, she was like, we already told everybody, so we thought we should just try. And
Right. Now, do you have other siblings?
I have two brothers.
Two brothers. What
Yeah,
are-
my mom said that she was concerned I might put her in a home, and she said she needed backup just in case.
What do they do?
They both just graduated college. That one graduated from Berkeley,
Wow.
and then the other one just graduated from Kutztown. He's a little less motivated.
Okay. Okay. Do they have a career path?
We don't know yet. Right,
Okay.
right now, they're just moving back in with my aunt.
Fair
so
enough.
We'll see what happens.
Fair
That's
enough.
what you do. We all lived with my Aunt Susie. Everybody lived with Aunt Susie.
We had that one.
You did?
So, yes, mine was Uncle Jug.
Uncle Jug?
G.
Gug?
Jug.
With a... Okay.
J-U-G.
what the fuck?
Yes. He was our most favorite.
He
He took us hunting and he took us fishing. He was great with the kids. He was an outdoorsman. He was in the Korean War. He was a storyteller. He was
a
funny as
Baron
shit.
Sheen.
He was kick-ass. Played football when you didn't have masks, wore leather helmets and shit like that. And here's one. This is true. He lived on a little circle. And there was a lot of kids, and so when we got to be teenagers, young teenagers, sometimes teenage boys would drive through to flirt with the girls, right? So one day these kids, they were driving a little too fast and they're being loud, and he hears them and he's pissed. But by the time he gets out the door, they're already gone. Well, it's a circle. Well, these fuckers come back for a second swing through, so he has time to walk in, and he had what was called a 410 shotgun pistol. It's a pistol that shoots a shotgun shell. Fire comes out the end of it. Shoots pellets, right? So he runs out, they turn the corner up, and he goes wham right over the top of their car and goes, "Slow down, there's children playing out here." So, mano a mano.
America.
That didn't happen in your Iranian family, did it?
No.
And they won't let
Not
you
in
people in the
Oak Brook,
country.
no. We weren't allowed to have weapons.
So,
Also educated. Everybody's super
Yeah, I
educated.
was the
Right.
least educated person in my family, and I went to law school. Granted, I was the last person to graduate, but I still got a law degree. But yeah, we didn't have.
why use that
Oh,
when
you're
you
so
can do
funny.
this?
Yeah, right. I'm making my parents proud right now. But we were able to use real penicillin, so I think that.
So,
Well,
let me
aren't
ask you. I'll ask you this
fancy?
first. So, when you're not consumed with doing your profession, comedy, do you have a hobby? I play golf. Is there something else that you just really enjoy?
I travel. I travel.
know you do.
a
You've
lot.
traveled everywhere in the
yeah,
world.
I've been to 67 countries now.
Right.
So, yeah.
You've been the most amazing places about anybody I know.
slept in Saddam Hussein's palace. I went to entertain the troops in Iraq, and I slept in. It looks like it was decorated with Carmela Soprano. Everybody, he had very shitty taste.
Yes, when you did the troops, when you were over entertaining, so not a sports. You're not a.
No, look at me. Did you see my arms earlier? They're gelatinous
shape.
meat sticks.
What about you? Now you said you played sports. You still?
Yeah, I played tennis, of course, and I was a figure skater.
No way. Really?
No.
I usually talk about it on stage, but I didn't tonight.
What?
We'll talk about it tomorrow. If you come back. I did that, and then I went to tennis, and then I played music. I was a musician for about 10 years before.
We laugh about the figure skating, but every time we watch it, and you usually only watch it during the Olympics, and occasionally you might, but you're sitting there, and here's these men, and they're mostly effeminate, and you do the figure skating thing. But the shit they do is incredibly dangerous. I mean, when you're flying through the air,
well, I didn't get
you don't do that and land perfect the first a lot of times you do it, right?
I never could do a double axel. I left when I was 14.
You just
And
said double
I was the
axel.
only.
He did say double axel. Have you ever performed with a guy who said he did a double? No, me either. We're special.
Yeah,
But you did a single axel?
I did, and I was the only guy that figure skated in the classes, and then all my friends played hockey, and my mom wouldn't let me play hockey with them. So to avoid having a figure skate anymore, I would lock myself in the bathroom until she's like, all right, you don't have to go anymore, but you have to do something else. So I picked the rough sport of tennis, and the rest is history.
Is that all Iranian moms? Because my husband's mom wouldn't let him do anything.
I couldn't
he
play
hasn't
football.
tried anything.
Yeah.
I was like, you weren't allowed to kayak? What can happen on a kayak?
I couldn't. I was afraid of motorcycles growing up. My dad was a doctor too, so it was worse to do any of those things than to drink. So
Let's back up on the ice skating a second. Did you ever do a sow cow?
I didn't get to that. I try to keep that out of my brain, all those terms.
Okay.
Because it brings back tough memories of locking myself in the bathroom for an hour and a half and listening to my mom on the other side yell at me.
So what was your move into comedy? What took you into comedy?
Look at me. I have no life skills.
Well,
I have
me either.
nothing.
People tell me that. I got nothing else I can do.
I've always been fine. funny. And then I think it was my dad that was like, I don't think you're really good at anything else.
Where'd you start doing open mic night?
What?
Where'd you start doing open mic night?
At the Comedy Store in Los Angeles.
Oh,
That was my
oh,
first,
wow. Okay.
My first open mic. And
Nice.
I had a good set because I brought like 30 friends, and they were very supportive. And then the next time, no friends, no laughs. Yeah.
Did you start in Chicago?
I started in Chicago, yeah. My buddy was opening for Bob Saget, and he was so nervous to be backstage. So he's like, come backstage with me and act like my manager. And it was a Cubs home opener, so I was backstage. I had no fear, and I was drunk with Bob Saget. And he thought that I was my friend, because my friend is actually Iranian too, and we kind of look like each other if you're a racist. And Bob Saget was like, oh, I started telling him a story. He's like, oh, are you doing that bit tonight? I was like, oh, no, that's Chris. I'm just his friend. Like, oh, you should go up. I was like, I've never done stand-up comedy. And everyone in the room started trying to push me to go up to do a show. And it was a sold-out show at a theater in Chicago. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing this for the first time. I didn't go up, but the next day I did an open mic. It was a contest, and I ended up winning it. And then I've been chasing the rush since. So
Now,
Yay.
here's something I want to ask April, and we talked about it earlier, and I wasn't here last time you were here, and it is on. I'd watched a documentary on female comedians. It was up about a couple years ago. Many of the most famous, and what came on over and over and over again was playing down attractiveness, and you are very attractive.
Thank you.
And
One person
if you see her when she hosts the AVN Awards, you know, you get the full Monty.
I hoisted my tits up for that.
But
I hoisted my tits up.
and Howard Stern voted you and Whitney Cummings the most beautiful, the most attractive.
Just me. I won, but then
Fuck Whitney.
she won at life. Everybody,
Okay.
she's winning at life.
So anyway, but anyway, you got that, pushed out there. But then, of course, we've talked about that. You dress down generally on stage. You don't come out all done up. And do you think that really makes a difference in how the crowd receives you?
I do, and I also I was saying I don't like to iron. Like it requires like a lot more energy to like do. First of all, doing your hair in this humidity, like I did it today, and this is what it came out like. So fuck it. What am I gonna do?
I want to say that I didn't realize this until now, but we're literally wearing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is fucking weird.
And I feel like you guys looked at her more than you looked at me, so
I didn't even look. We got the same.
we planned this.
Tomorrow we'll be wearing white T-shirts and black jeans, everybody. So.
You both dress
Shoes
down.
the same, literally.
Right.
I'm wearing socks.
So let me add, just as to the audience, if a woman walks out on stage and she is very attractive and she is done totally up and just knocked out, drop dead, gorgeous, comes out, or opposed to comes out and is just
like a dirt bag.
like a dirt bag. Hey. Do you think that makes? If you think it makes a difference, to you say yes.
Yes.
Do you think it doesn't make a
But
difference?
that's
Say
weird.
no. Okay, so there were some.
I think that you believe that in your head
Yeah.
until there's a disconnect, I think, as a woman, because I do feel like there's a feeling as soon as a female comic gets on stage, especially if you don't know who she is, you're like, Well, it is a double standard.
It is a
but
double
it's
standard. That's the
true.
point I'm making.
It's something you have to contend with, because all of a sudden you'll see people like, oh boy, here we go, lady comic. So you feel like if you're coming out and your tits are out, people are a little more distracted.
Let's try it tomorrow, shall we? No, that was wrong of me in every sense of the word.
It's all right.
Okay,
I got
sorry.
I got
okay.
Polish breathing
Okay,
tits.
all
I'll
right.
bring 'em out.
Okay, redneck came out. But it's like we were saying. I have seen that same dynamic with a man. I've seen a male comic come out here that is a matinee idol, gorgeous guy, fit, athletic, just like a wow. The one where as soon as he walks out and starts talking, most of the women start twirling their hair a little bit. Just a little hair twirl thing, like, and I've seen men, especially up in the front, she starts laughing her ass off. he ain't laughing. Because he's not very happy about all her attention being on him, you know, and he's winning her over with every joke. And he gets more insecure and more insecure. So I've seen it both ways, but I don't think guys give a shit about that. I don't think they do. I think they'll come out, you know, looking as attractive as they can.
You
and
have to care as much. Even the way you're, like, first of all, if you go across the country, like, you can take screenshots of different comedy clubs. Like, you have a lot of women, but a lot of clubs don't, where it'll be...
I like how you just said I had a lot of women.
No, yeah. But
just
you know,
stop
like,
there.
On the
Headliners.
calendar,
Yeah.
on a calendar, you have a lot of women, but
Yes,
some
we do.
clubs don't. So, like, I've taken screenshots where across the country it was 72 different weeks, and there were 2 women in 72 weeks. One was a medium. You're like, what the fuck? You got to talk to the death to get. So it's already hard enough. So I feel like downplaying a little bit. You want to. It's a more masculine art form, so you take on a more masculine energy, which is why I dress like him tonight.
I think when we were getting ready to book you, we were looking at dates, and we had 6 female comedians that was ready for them to come, and it was right there around May, June, 1st of July, and we would have put them all together.
Yeah.
And my assistant, who's female, is like. I don't think we should put 6 women together in a row. I go, we put 6 men together in a row. And she goes, yeah, but we don't have a lot of female comedians, as many headliners that would like to, you know, kind of scatter them around.
There's a lot of I feel like there's a lot
For
of
lack
there
of a
are a
better
lot
term.
of great women, but even like sometimes when you're brought up on stage, especially when you first start, they're like, we got something different. We got a lady. Like they're bringing out a monkey. And you're like, hey, I'm a lady comer.
Hey, Justin, bring up the lights just a little bit. Not where we can see them totally, like it's scary. But enough to where if we see a hand. So right now, if you have a question for either one of these guys or me, whatever. Yes, right there.
The captain.
The captain.
Yes.
Captain.
William
Neil.
Shatner.
And William Shatner, yes.
How
old when you started?
Oh, God. 25, 26. It's pretty late for a comic. It is late for a comic. I think, like, I'm always envious of the people that knew at like 17, like, I've always dreamed of being a comic. I was just kind of damaged and misguided, and so.
I was 27.
I was 35, but I hosted stuff before that, yeah, so I'm, old.
87.
34 I was, but I hosted events and I was on stage as a musician, so.
Questions? Anything back here? Anything at all? Yes, no? Right, yeah, in the back. Back.
So, April, I just want to let you know that I've seen you before, dressed up, pretty, everything.
Oh.
But to see you tonight, it was like I connected with you more as a working woman,
Oh.
and I related to you better. So,
Oh. All right.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that. It's honest. Thank you.
Yeah, right here.
I'm lazy, so this is me.
Yeah. What did he hate about his law career that drove you to comedy?
I hated dealing with other lawyers more than anything. I did litigation, so I was actually like in court doing trials, and they were just mostly miserable people. In Chicago, I'm sure the lawyers here are great.
Of course. Did you have a question? Yeah.
I don't really have a question. I just want to say, I don't care if you're male or you're female or what you look like or what you dress like. I come here to see funny.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's all that matters.
Absolutely. And you know, the only reason I said that when we talked about it was that I do feel that males that I know, they might come in on a Wednesday and Thursday night because it's during the week, and they might just dress in jeans and a T-shirt, and then they'll come in on Friday and Saturday because it's the weekend, and they'll really dress up, and then I'll see a female comic goes, no, you know, I like to dress down because I just feel I'm accepted more. And I think that the female should have the latitude to dress however the fuck she wants to dress, you know what I mean, and not feel like I got to dress a certain way to be accepted by the audience. That's the only thing that bothers me a little bit,
What
you know.
she's saying is honest. Maybe it's a little more relatable. Maybe it's like,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I'm wearing the same thing. So.
Yeah, right over here. I'll get you two. Yeah.
No.
What? What?
Shit.
What'd you
Am
say?
I a redhead? No, I'm a blonde, naturally. Oh,
If
hell.
he's a redhead,
No. I didn't get it.
comedy ain't that easy, is it, sir?
No, it's
Yeah, well, good shot. Nice try, though. I like that. I know. I like that you tried. I have a class. It's $250. Take it. You'll do good. You'll do good. I swear you will. You will. You will. You had a question? Somebody here? In here? No? Yes? No? Yeah? Right here. And then you. Yes?
Ah,
okay.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you
okay.
So much.
On
Thank
Howard.
you. Oh, yeah. All
Do you
right.
still ever go on Howard's show?
I'm hoping to get back on for the Netflix special. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been on like 3 times, and he's very pleasant. Like, he just kind of folds into himself. He's like kind of sheepish and quiet off air. So
Nice.
it's nice to know. They're very nice, warm, gracious people.
You had a question here. Okay.
Oh, no.
We get a lot of that. Yeah, back there?
Paul, do your parents live on Longboat?
No. That's scary. No, they don't. They don't live there. Well, they're actually in Chicago now, so we can have a party at their house anyway. But
Do they live in a gated community?
no, they don't live in a gated
Do they live in a downtown $1 million condo?
No, they're not. They're pretty.
They live
low-key.
in Bradenton on the east side. Down with the homeboys.
They're in
Got a
Sarasota.
pickup truck and a fucking camo hat. And get it! Ho! Let's go! Let's go shoot a gator! Just because we can.
Now I'm getting scared.
All right, maybe a couple more questions and we'll wrap this up. Anything else? Yes, over there.
Yes. Okay.
Fuck is that? The
Yes.
lawyer, Paul. Yeah. Middle Eastern.
No, he's funny.
Oh.
He's funny.
Oh, he's confused? I'm confused? Dear God, what did I do for 25 minutes? I'm not confused.
This started out as questioning and now it's character assassination.
It's like, he's a little
Wonderful.
overweight. His hair is really gray.
Well, I'm from Tennessee. All right. Where are you from? What's that? Bristol? Tri-Cities. Kingsport, Bristol, Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee all melded together. That's a special little soup. Wait, one more. What do you got?
Kentucky.
What'd she say?
She is a Kentucky girl when you say Kentucky.
Oh, you're just from. Oh, you are a Kentucky girl. Okay. Oh, Brighton, Kentucky. Yeah. What you got?
April, you mentioned that first show was easy, the second show was hard.
It wasn't easy. Like for the well, I didn't get back on stage for like 6 months, and I was so nervous, I would force myself to sleep all day. That's the lazy part. And then I would hurl my body to a club, and I would always feel compelled to run. I'd be like, oh, nobody's making you do this. You can just get the fuck out of here. You don't have to get on stage. And I don't know why I just kept doing it for years. And then it was after about 2 years, it like finally clicked, and I was like, oh, my life finally had purpose. So that's kind of how that happened. Was it what? Was it a gift at that point? It takes so many years. Like I was nervous. I mean, I don't really get nervous anymore unless you're taping something and you know you can really fuck up a lot of money. But because now you're like, oh, it's just natural and it's what you do. But first few years were pretty fucking painful.
I think it usually takes most comics. I watch them for years. It takes most comics 2 or 3 years just to figure out if they can do it.
Yeah.
Really do it.
Well,
And then it's another 2 or 3 years to get yourself to some sort of professional place where you can actually make some money, and then it's another couple of years before you're making any money. It takes about the same amount of time as it takes to get a doctorate's degree.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's how
why-
long it takes to make any money at this.
That's why I'm
to
so
be that
confused.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how fucking brilliant we are.
Captain.
Hey, thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks. Thank you, April. Thank you, Paul. April Macie, Paul Farvar. Thanks a lot for coming out.